So,
Happy Saturday.
happy Saturday. It's just been the Joneses.
Episode 3.
So, today we are talking about social media boundaries.
Social media and boundaries.
Yes, because I see it all the time. We both have mentioned that we see this come up on social media all the time. So some of it is example of some of the things that I see. So sometimes I see people say that social media ruin relationships. I see people say that don't mention anything about being in a relationship on social media, because if you do, then that's gonna cause problems in your relationship. That's when the women or whatever want to be in your inbox.
Because women, y'all know y'all like guys. Y'all especially like guys when they're in relationships. For some reason.
And so, I mean, I, for one, don't agree that social media messes up relationships, because social media is a tool. Somebody has to use that tool to mess up anything.
That's right.
So it's how you use social media. And one of the things that I always think about when people say, well, don't mention or don't say anything about your relationship or whatever on social media, or people gonna start trying to mess it up, or your relationship not gonna make it. What about outside of social media? So there's interactions with other people outside of social media. I mean, if you're not staying in the house 24/7, people going to work, people going to hang out maybe with friends,
Happy hour.
I mean,
bars, wherever.
If your relationship can't stand the test of times of social media, then you kind of consider, what the foundation of your relationship is and what those boundaries are looking like in your relationship. It's not social media's fault.
That's right. Because I agree, social media is definitely just a tool that's used to communicate with others, keep in touch with people. It's a great tool, and I often call it a gift and a curse. So it's a gift because, again, I reiterate, it is a good tool to have. It's a good tool for to keep in touch, and even meet people. And that's a great thing. Socialize. We socialize so much online now, but it's also a curse. Social media is also a curse because people use that tool to do wrong things, to hurt people, for one, and to cheat on their relationship, whether it be in a marriage or about to get married, or just even having a boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. So and it's definitely wrong to do those things. So yeah, in my opinion, it's real trifling to be doing those things, creeping around on social media against your behind your spouse's back or behind your partner's back. Guys, we like to get into those scumbag tactics where we, meet people sometime or whatever, or just be looking at whatever online. But you got to set those boundaries. So if you set boundaries for others or yourself, then or both, sometimes both. Set boundaries for others and yourself, because if you know how you are, keep it real with yourself. If you know how you are, then set those boundaries for yourself. Say, hey, okay, I'm going to filter what I allow into my inbox, or what I entertain in my inbox, rather, because you can't really control what comes in your inbox.
Exactly.
So, but if you entertaining this or that, if you entertaining nudes or hey, what's up, how you doing, then that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and he said it's all about boundaries, because whenever you're in a committed relationship, boundaries is going to be the main thing that keep your relationship together.
Absolutely.
When it comes to boundaries with friends, when it comes to boundaries with family, when it comes to boundaries with whatever whatever, that's going to be the main thing that's going to keep the foolishness and messiness and all of those things out of your relationship. So it's if ladies, if you got to be afraid to even mention that you're in a relationship, or say anything about being in a relationship on social media because you're afraid that it's going to destroy your relationship, then you need to think about what like I said, the foundation, or like who's the person that you're with. Like, do they have self-control? Because if they can't control themselves with social media, they're not always going to be in your presence. So it's nothing wrong with, like I see a lot of people saying, oh, they like a private life. It's nothing wrong with not putting things out there on social media. But the saying that I'm not doing this because social media is going to mess up my relationship, no.
Yeah, social media is not going to mess it up. I mean, it's what you allow social media to do.
Yeah.
Or who is on social media with you, that's what messes up the relationship.
Right. So if you cannot trust that your spouse or mate or whoever can handle themselves out on social media, then that's not a social media issue. That's a relationship issue.
Absolutely.
So, because they have to be able to handle themselves in whatever situation they're in with respect. So, like, we don't even, like, truthfully, we don't have like, we got our own social media accounts. We're not sharing social media accounts, but we don't keep each other out of anything. Because why? So it's not like he's gonna say, oh, let me go all through April's social media. Let me log in and go all through all of her inboxes or blah 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 or whatever.
I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah,
'cause that's another job.
Yeah, but it's just the point of there's nothing to hide. So
right.
If in the event that for any reason that he had to pick up my phone or wanted to go check out something on my social media or vice versa, then that's not an issue because there's nothing on there to hide. So, if there's something that look fishy, whatever, I'm a woman first now. So if it's something that look fishy and I happen to roll up on something that look fishy, then yeah, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna see what it is and I'm gonna check it out. But it's not one of those situations where it's like, okay, let me go look all up and through this so I can make sure he ain't doing nothing he don't whatever. So, because I trust that he knows how to handle himself on social media. And I also know that if I do see something that I have an issue with, if I say, hey, this not appropriate, because sometimes you be getting like sometimes you know what I'm saying, with your type of sense of humor that you have and all of that junk, sometimes, I mean, with his little mouth, he could get out of line. I don't know, whatever. Like, but
with my little sense of humor.
Well, you got a big sense of humor, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you really don't. We be kind of talking about this sometimes. Sometimes you'll know that sometimes I might find something that's inappropriate, not outside of the lines of like trying to holler at anybody or saying, but I might see certain jokes or certain things to me that might be inappropriate, and he might not see it's just a joke to him or something like that, or a meme or something like that okay, and I might be like, yeah, that might be a little bit inappropriate, whatever. But I also know that if I say that it's something that I think is inappropriate, or if I have a issue with something, it doesn't matter whether it's social media or outside of social media, it's not going to be a problem of correction. Like, we're not finna sit up here and be getting in a big old blowout argument because I find something inappropriate and he don't. If I find it inappropriate, then he gonna check it. Yeah. So that's why I can trust that he know how to handle himself and be respectful toward me, because there's never going to be an issue or there's never an issue where if I'm having an issue with something, we finna be, hollering and screaming at each other because he don't want to change that or correct that behavior or anything like that. No. So that's what I'm saying.
Basically, I can't make chicks laugh too hard. Stuff like that is what she's saying. So
No, you're exaggerating.
If there's too many smiley emojis or too much kikiing and all that, then it's a problem.
No.
It's a problem. That's the kind of stuff I got checked on. But seriously, yeah, I mean, she has all my passwords or access to my accounts or whatever. I mean, I don't care about those things because I ain't doing that wrong. So there's nothing to worry about. And it makes life, trust me, fellas, it makes life a lot simpler if there's nothing for her to worry about. So I always say happy wife, happy life. Because I mean, I ain't got time
and I
for all
always
that drama.
correct him and say happy spouse, happy house.
Either way, she got to be the one happy because for the whole house to be happy.
But
you know, I mean, if somebody want to cheat, they're just gonna cheat anyway. So
yeah.
you know, but I definitely don't be having time to be. I can't be with somebody who I feel like I gotta be running behind their social media accounts and emails and all that stuff. And if I can't trust you like that, then we don't need to be together. If I gotta be doing that, and there's some people who do those things, they run behind checking accounts all the time, and I'm like, well, why are you even with that person? Are you even happy? Are you checking behind them more than you're loving them? Are you checking behind them more than you're trusting them? I mean, that's you know.
If nothing ever come up, like it's really no need to go running trying to find something that's not like just because let me just get up and go look and see. You know, if a woman has an intuition, and sometimes things pop up that may not look right or may look a little bit off, that may cause a woman to, you know, feel like she need to do a little checking. And I get that, you know, but just to be it ain't nothing happening, nothing going on, but then I just gotta run and go look at this or look at that or the no. So
it's definitely healthy to set those boundaries. It makes everything so much easier. It makes it easier to just operate on social media or whatever. So
yeah, because you have a lot of times people know when they can try you or not. Like the way you carry yourself, the way you move, people know.
People know what they can get away with.
Yeah.
People know, most likely people have enough common sense and know, okay, this dude here, he be, you know, just doing whatever on social media or even at work or at the bar or whatever, talking to all these girls or whatever. I know I can try him and get some reaction out of them, and most likely they're true.
Yeah, because I mean, me, like personally, I don't really care about inbox conversations and communication with the opposite sex if it's somebody that is supposed to be a friend or co-worker or something like that, as long as the conversation stay appropriate. But you know, I mean, the whole you just new to the page and you just want to pop in the inbox and start being a friend. Nah, I ain't with all that. Who is this? Like, no, you know, whatever. Right. So, but like I said, it's never, if I needed to address something, if I needed to say, who is this person or something like that, then there's never a situation where, he finna get, but you know, stick out his chest and get all puffy in the chest and mad because I'm asking a question. So that makes a difference. Because if that's the case, then that make it seem like it's something that it shouldn't be going. You know, your intentions are not pure somewhere.
Right.
So, but I mean, you have to be able to have the type of relationship with boundaries, healthy boundaries, where social media is not an issue in your relationship. You should, a woman or a man should never feel like we cannot post a picture on social media or something just because, and if we do, then we gonna start having problems in our relationship, because then females or guys or whoever gonna start coming at our relationship. That should not ever be a concern or worry or fear in anyone's relationship, because you should be able to be, the foundation of your relationship should be strong enough. Now, if you don't have that type of foundation in your relationship and everybody's relationship different. If you don't have that type of foundation in your relationship, maybe you had some issues and you do have some trust issues and stuff like that, and you feel like social media might not be the best thing for you guys to be on until you get in a certain place in your relationship, then I mean sometimes that might be the case. But what I'm saying is social media do not mess up your relationship. You have to know what the actual issue is.
That's right.
And that's the whole point. Knowing what the actual issue is. So is it social media or is it you? Or is it your man? Or is it your woman? Because be real. Because it's not social media.
And you got to be real with yourself. That's good.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. You just say that. Be real with yourself and knowing. If you care about your relationship, be real with yourself about knowing, hey, setting boundaries on myself. Maybe you need to get off Facebook. Maybe you need to get away from social media for a while if that's what it needs to save your relationship, to build that strong foundation in your relationship. And then, once you and your wife get things back together, then get back on social media and act right. Act like you know how to act like you're married to somebody special. Act like or not just act
somebody
like it, but just love. Not act like it, but just conduct yourself in a way that you love your spouse and let everyone know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you don't respect the person that you with, who will?
Who will? Nobody.
And that's when people feel like they can come in and be disrespectful and stuff like that. That's when, they see that you're not being respectful. Yeah. You don't have, when you have loose boundaries, you got to set boundaries for yourself, and know not to also cross certain lines and allow other people to cross certain lines.
You become an easy target.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm not even going to sit here. I mean, I've had maybe a couple people pop up in my inbox before, but how do I, it's up to me how I handle that. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to entertain it, then it's me. I'm the problem.
That's right. It ain't Instagram.
Yeah.
It's you being a hoe. That's what it all comes down to. If you want to be a hoe, doing hoe stuff, running your little hoe activities.
See, this is what I'm talking about here when I say about certain things about his mouth and his sense of humor.
Hey, don't laugh too hard, ladies. I can't get in trouble. Don't laugh too hard, please.
Whatever.
Nah. But yeah, social media, gift and a curse. I keep saying it and I'll always say it because people do things wrong with it. But it's a great tool to have, you know what I'm saying? This is how we socialize now. The world is always fluid. Technology drives how the world works. So, we do a lot of socializing online. Fellas, keep them nudes away from you, man. Don't be getting them nudes.
So if somebody sent a nude in if somebody ever sent you a nude in your inbox since we've been married?
No, not since we've been married.
Okay. No. So if somebody sent you a nude in your inbox, would you tell me?
Yeah, I'll show you.
We gonna laugh.
You want to see it? Or?
Yeah, so we can laugh. So we can be like, she tried it.
Nah.
But when people come in my inbox with stuff, if it look like they, I'm gonna say something. I'm like, look at this dude that's in my inbox. Whatever. But
you probably get news all the time. Most women do probably. I don't know.
I don't get news in my inbox, but I have had people asking me about being their sugar baby.
Oh yeah. So you sold me those. Some of these guys are trip.
But
I'm like, shoot, do it. I'm trying to get his Bronco.
He talking about, hey, can he get us a brand new Bronco at $25,000?
Shoot.
Just trying to pimp his wife. I'm telling you.
He's the one to talk. Hey.
For a Bronco at $25,000, I don't know. He gonna want more than talking.
Pretty sure he will. He gonna whip out the Viagra.
What? The what?
The Viagra. See, that's what he gonna whip out. Shoot, he trying to do now.
Oh gosh. But yeah, y'all, it's just about boundaries. Sit down and if y'all have issues with social media, or you have some type of fear, or you don't feel like your partner is using it respectfully or something, just sit down and have a conversation about that and be open about how you feel about it. And it's not about control, it's about respect, and it's about boundaries. And a lot of people these days, especially I hear females say, and then men will say this to try to justify their actions about people being your partner being insecure. I never have heard about anybody calling me insecure, because how I feel is how I feel. What I'm gonna tolerate is what I'm gonna tolerate. What I'm not gonna tolerate is what I'm not gonna tolerate. And I'm real firm on boundaries and respect. So I don't care if somebody call me insecure, because I have boundaries set in place and I want to be respected, and I'm not allowing anybody to disrespect me or whatever. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. I don't care. So if you're able to sit down and have a conversation about what this looks like if this has been a problem for you. Some people have not had a problem with that. That's cool. But if it has been a problem for you, having an open and honest conversation with your partner about it, and realizing that, if something is bothering your spouse, if your actions or behavior is bothering your spouse, what's more important? How your spouse feels, or you entertaining other people outside of your relationship? Or, you have to think about that. Like, there's no one outside of my relationship that can come in my inbox or do anything inappropriate, or have me doing anything inappropriate. That's more important. That's not, because those things, that's not worth messing up what I have for. So if you feel like what you have is worth having and worth keeping, then you might want to consider making sure you set some boundaries for yourself, so that you're being respectful to the person that you're with, and that you are actually taking their feelings into consideration about, when they tell you about how they feel about something. Because, I'm quick to, like I said, I don't hold back how I feel about anything. So if it's anything ever that I feel like, and that's just anything in general at this point, that I ever feel like might be disrespectful to me, or I feel like we need a boundary, we're gonna talk about that. And we haven't had an issue with respecting each other's boundaries. And sometimes not everybody care for our boundaries, or not everybody is happy with when we set boundaries for our relationship, because that means that they can't cross those boundaries or whatever. And so they may have an issue with that, but that's not our problem. Right. Our responsibility is being happy together and not allowing anybody else to come between that. So it's what you allow in your relationship. And we can sit here and say this because we have had situations, and not with cheating or anything like that, but we had different situations, family situations, opposite sex friend situations, all this stuff that has come up before, that we have talked about and set and established boundaries that we can be happy with. And we never let those things tear us apart or let people come in and interfere with how we feel about something. So, and it's not because I was doing something inappropriate or he was doing something inappropriate. Sometimes you can see people trying to do, disrespectful things or inappropriate things, or think that they can have a certain place to do certain things. And then you have to say, hey, this is what I peeped, this is what I noticed, and make sure we on the same page about these boundaries, and that we're not allowing, anybody to, come between us.
That's right. And if they're your true friend or associate or whoever they may be, and you say, well, hey, this is our relationship, these are the boundaries, whatever the boundaries may be, they should be, if they cool with you, then they'll respect those boundaries anyway. And if not, then you know what to do, cut them. Because, they're probably not worth being in your life anyway if they don't respect your boundaries.
Yeah, because you got to have boundaries you got to have boundaries with friends, family, and kids. Everything require boundaries, So
I'm 42 years old right now, so if you don't respect my boundaries, then you're out. I'm sorry, but yay. Yeah, I mean, here's the door. I'll kind of show you the door. I will talk. I will try to work with you, but it can't be not disrespectful because when it come to her, you know, she's number one, and I love my son. You know, all my kids, but hey, I still got a young one, a 10-year-old in the house, and I ain't trying to do anything to mess that up. Nothing. Okay, nobody come in the way of that. Trust me. So I mean,
Yeah.
boundaries is very important.
So yeah, because your family inside your house, in my opinion, well, I'm gonna speak for me. My family inside my house is priority number one, and yeah, we love other people as well, but our family is our number one priority is inside these four walls.
Yeah.
So, so boundaries, and that's what it boiled down to. So you gotta make a decision.
So yeah, how do you set your boundaries? If you care to leave it in the comments, by all means, you're welcome to do that. Don't forget to hit like if you haven't subscribed. Hit that bell if you need to, so that you know every other Tuesday we coming out with that new episode. And we ain't got no sponsors, so I'm gonna leave that part out. Hey, somebody get at me, you know. But seriously, we thank y'all for tuning in, and this is our third episode, and we've gotten so many views, and we hope to get more likes and subscribes, followers or whatever. And I mean, it's just a great thing. We really appreciate y'all for tuning in, looking at our little channel, you know what I'm saying, helping it grow.
Yeah.
And so,
And just remember, it ain't social media, it's you. Or it's them.
You.
But it ain't social media. Just being the Joneses.
Just being the Joneses. Yeah.